up, Pink Butterflies? It's your girl, Lady Sylvia. Welcome back to the Pink Butterfly. How you doing? So, why do I have on my shades, you ask? Because I am doing this video by request, and it is Pink Butterflies, a dating life. So I had to put on shades, baby, because this is a shady situation. So if you're interested in hearing all about my shady dating life, honey, grab you some tea, grab you some biscuits and something to snack on, and come on back for the shade, because the shade is real. Okay, so you stuck around, so you want to hear all about Lady Sylvia's disastrous dating life thus far. So, little back history. I do have two kids, ages 19 and 16. They are by the same father. We were engaged. We were both in the Army. It did not work out. We went our separate ways. Hence, I've been single for a long time by choice. So, after about 2 years of me and my ex being broken up, I decided, okay, I'll go back into the dating world and kind of see what's out here. So the first person I dated was this guy that I work with. Now, some people, if I don't think there's a chance of them ever seeing this video, then I'll just call their name, because what I got to lose. But other people, if I know people that they know, I'm going to just have to put their initials in it or something, because they sue me, they getting half of the bills. How about that? So anyway, first person I dated was Lewis. And Lewis was in the Marine Corps. And Lewis was also from New Orleans and happened to be stationed in New Orleans at the time, right? So Lewis and I started dating, unfortunately, shortly before he got orders to go to California. So while, it takes a couple months before you actually leave to get orders or whatnot. So we were dating, everything was cool. But the thing with Lewis is like, he was the true definition of like a Gemini. I didn't know nothing about Geminis until I met Lewis, honey. He really was two different people in one body. One day he was sweet and caring and just over the top romantic. And then the next day it's like, I don't know, like Chucky took over his body and he was just like, he don't want to be bothered. He don't want to talk. And sister is not the one for that type of wishy-washy. I don't do all of that. You're going to be the same way Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, or don't deal with me Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That's just the way I am. So anyway, y'all, I had a dream that I was walking a dog. Now, mind you, I'm terrified of dogs. I hate dogs. But it was two dogs on a leash. And when I looked down, both dogs were wearing Marine Corps dress pants. And I was like, oh, that ain't nothing but God telling me this boy is a dog and he is crazy. And if there's any mistake on who he is, they got on Marine Corps pants. So you know it's him. And then told me that he really did have two different personalities. So I had to leave Lewis alone, child. Ain't nobody got time for that. And I have not seen or heard from Lewis since then. So this has been like 12 years. But anyway, I have a little note here just so I could remember people. And, some names and some events have been left out because ain't nobody got time for that. Okay, so then I took a little break after Lewis, and then, like Hurricane Katrina happened, and I moved to Dallas and just getting everything ready. And I just wasn't really dating. At this point in time, like I had completely sold out, given my life over to God. I purposely was not dating, was not taking applications at all. There was no hiring. There was no room at the end. I just didn't have time for it. I wanted to get my relationship with God right. Then I wanted to make sure that my kids had a solid foundation, a good mom, all that jazz, right? Okay. Not to say that if you dating that you're not a good mama. So, life. Okay, anyway, so then by this time I had moved to Dallas and I transferred jobs. So I started, this guy started working at our job named R. So one time R was like, you could tell when you vibing with somebody and, y'all got a little chemistry. So R was like, okay, I'm feeling you, or you feeling me? I mean, this went on for like months. And so finally I was like, look, I feel like there's something going on here. What's up? And he was like, yeah, I do. So he was like, I just don't know if I'm ready to date right now. I got a lot of things going on. And I was like, okay. That kind of took me by surprise because R was like, fine. R was tall, bald, chocolate. He was, R was everything, baby. And he liked me. And I was like, okay, I can get with art. So we had a Christmas party at my job that I was like one of the event planners for the Christmas party. And Art actually like joined the committee to help decorate and shop and stuff just so he could spend time with me. So I was like, yes, Art, yes, baby. So R and I went to the Christmas party together, and I don't know who people thought maybe we were dating when we really weren't dating. We were just interested in each other, whatever. So anyway, I left that job, and long story short, when I tell you, it was like we never could get it together. You know, it's like when he was more interested, I wasn't interested. When I was more interested, he had other things going on, because you ain't never not gonna be interested in Sylvia. So anyway, it just never really seemed to be the right time. And then I just left it alone altogether and whatever. Do you know R turned out to be a cocaine addict with a serious alcohol problem? Like, on the real. That's why the boy could never give me no time of day. I could only thank God, like, we did not end up in a relationship together. And I thank God that R was man enough to say, I'm battling some things that I don't want to bring to you. And at the time, I was like, I don't understand that. You know, we used to sit and talk about everything. His baby mama, how she was doing him from another country. But child, come to find out, this boy had a serious cocaine and alcohol addiction. So I don't know where R is today. I heard he left the country. I pray to God that he is doing fine and well and healed. Ooh, but R, baby, you was fine. Okay, who is next up on the list? My hair braider, who been braiding our hair for years, she asked me to go on a date with a friend of hers who was like one of those guys who comes in the hair braiding shop and he always selling purses and whatnot. So she was like, please, please, please go out with him. So mind you, they're Nigerian. I am not in any way, shape, or form making fun of Nigerians or the African culture. Kind of hard to, but I will just tell you in the best accent that I can, because for dramatic effect. But anyway, so I went out with dude. I was like, I'm not interested in him, but for you, I'll do it because I love her to death. So fine, for you, I'll do it. Come to find out, the bargain was if she got me to go on a date with him, he would give her some free purses. So basically, you just sold me for a pocketbook and a matching wallet. You know who you are. Shame, shame, shame. Anyway, y'all, I went out with dude. Africans are so aggressive by nature. I don't think they mean to be aggressive, but they are just aggressive. And he would call me and like, we are going to dinner today. And I'm like, no, you need to ask me. No, we are going to dinner today. And then, okay, you know, he would call me and if I don't answer the phone, he would text me. And then he would call me to leave me a voicemail that he texted me because I didn't answer the phone call. It was way too much. It was team too much. I'm going to go into more of that date because that date deserves its own video coming up after this. I'm going to call it something about the African man. I don't know what. So after him, I was traumatized. I did not want to date. Everybody was crazy. So again, a couple years passed by. And so I went out with E. Now, E was so cute. It was my little, where was he from? He's my little Dominican puppy. We had a lot in common. You know, he's from the Dominican Republic. My mom is from Costa Rica, so they speak the same language. They eat the same food. He and I were dating not long at all. But E, when I met him, I don't know, he was going through some kind of transitions on his job, and he was just like going through a lot. And I tried to be supportive, but what I'm not fixing to do is take care of you. It is one man that I'm going to take care of, and that's my 16-year-old son. I ain't taking care of no grown man. And I kind of felt like because he was down on his luck, like he expected me to come in and be like, oh, baby, I got you. I'm going to take care of you till you. No, don't get it twisted. Now, I got you with prayers. I got you with support. Hell, I'll pay for the dinner and the movie tonight. Tonight. but I'm not fixing to take care of you. She don't get down like that. No. Like, we were married and he was my husband and he was down on his luck. Oh, I got you. I'm your man, 100 grand. I'm ride or die. I got your back. I'm built forward tough for you. But if we just dating, boo, I'm going to pray for you. Now to cook this chicken, you want me to bring you over some chicken? But I'm not fixing to support you financially. That's not what she do. She supports one man and he's 16. Get your life. So anyway, E had all these issues. E could never show up to any event that I had. E was just, and I was like, you know what? You team too much, E. So you got to go too. E eventually moved to Florida and he got like a much better paying job, you know, in his little corporate America thing, because he was tripping because he's used to making 6 or more figures a year and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay. So last I talked to E, which was a couple months ago, he was doing very well. He moved to Florida. He back in the 6-figure game, and child, I guess he doing good. But I just don't have no luck with dating. I met this other guy named Cliff. Me and Cliff went on a date. Y'all, first of all, I love Chinese food, but I do not like P.F. Chang's. So we live like an hour apart. So we met like, you know, halfway in between the two. So then he wants to go to P.F. Chang's. I hate P.F. Chang's, but I was like, okay, fine. I don't want to be too difficult. So we met at P.F. Chang's. I get there and I'm like, this is not the dude from the internet profile. You are not the dude from the site. But okay, I'm gonna give you that. I could tell it was him, like I wasn't catfished, but y'all, I sat at the table, I was so bored to death. Oh my God, you ever thought about just drinking a whole bottle of soy sauce just so you can put yourself out your misery? I was so freaking bored. Like, so we leave, right? So he walks me to my car and he was like, well, you know, I'm gonna call you tonight. I had such a good time. And I'm thinking, okay, that's a nice, polite thing to do, is say you're gonna call me later, because I was bored to death. I could tell he was bored to death. This dude called me on the real. He called me later that night and was like, oh my gosh, I had such a great time. You're an awesome person. And I'm sitting there going, you ever look at the phone because you confused? So you think if you look at the phone, it may make more sense of what they saying? So I was like, was he sitting at the same table I was? Because that was the most boring date I ever had in my life. Oh my God, I've had better time watching the grass grow. So we are at the point where we are at now, because my time is running out. I'm not dating. I'm not opposed to dating, not at all. But I do realize one thing. I am not a multiple dater. Like, I can't date more than one person at a time. I don't think there's anything wrong with it as long as you're not sleeping with all of them. But I'm just not the type of person to date multiple people at a time. And then I don't want to waste your time, and I sure as hell not going to let you waste my time. So if we not vibing, there is no sense in us even getting into this thing, because what's the point? We not vibing. So I am not looking for love. I'm not actively seeking it. I'm not on any websites, dating sites, nothing like that. You know, it's going to be what it's going to be, when it's going to be, when it's going to be. And I'm okay with that. But up until now, I have had absolutely, positively no luck in the dating scene. And what a lot of men tell me is that they assume that I'm married. And I'm like, what do you mean? They say, well, you carry yourself like a married woman. I'm like, what, I walk a different way? Like single women walk different? Hell, I don't know. But that's the story of the no story of Pink Butterfly's dating life. I don't have one. It's horrible. But it's okay, because soon and very soon, I am going to get a king. Oh, soon and very soon, I am going to get a king. Y'all have a blessed bye.